barn. I was so scared to look inside, but I had to.
And what did you see, Clarice? What did you see? Was it the beagles?
They were screaming.
They were slaughtering these beagles. That set you off. Did you run away, Clarice?
No. First I tried to free them. I opened the gate to their pen, but they wouldn't run. They just stood there, confused. They wouldn't run.
And who else was there, Clarice? Was there a doctor that looked like the troll from Labyrinth?
Yes.
It was Fauci, wasn't it, Clarice? What did you do? Did you try to take one of his beagles? I bet he didn't like that, did he? Did he try to stop you, Clarice? Did he stop you with his cold, clammy hands?
It was very cold. Very cold.
And what was the plan, Clarice? There were many beagles. Did you hope to carry them all?
I thought if I could save just one, but...
But then that little troll, Fauci, jumped on your back, didn't he, Clarice?
He was so heavy.
Yes, heavy.
He was so heavy.
He's a surprisingly heavy doctor, Clarice.
Wow, it really is a small world after all, isn't it? I mean, it's just, it's like, this is like a crazy Jack Ryan story. I mean, I can't even really describe how insane this whole story is happening. Now, not only this morning do we have Jack, former CEO of Twitter, chiming in, but now there turns out that there are some Faucian connections at Twitter too. What a coincidence! It seems like Twitter was happy to bring in anybody associated with the Democratic machine and give them high-paying jobs to, I'm sure, totally just be like every other employee. I have some thoughts on this where, like, you know, it's like these companies, these people, like that lawyer, that rat lawyer, you know, had this job at Twitter, but I suspect he had another job to do at Twitter. And now a connection to Anthony Fauci, a family member of his, also conveniently worked at Twitter during the lockdowns and during the height of the coof. I'm sure it's just a coincidence, though, right? Let's get into the story. Huge announcement, by the way. Coffee Brand Coffee is doing our 12 days of Christmas sale today. 12% off using promo code 12days, 12DAYS. Make sure you pick up your coffee. People are picking up the blueberry cobbler like crazy, but we also have our Santa's Helper, white chocolate cranberry, peppermint mocha coffees. We have non-flavored coffee, of course, maple pecan. We have sampler packs or multi-packs if you're interested. We also have our holiday gift boxes, which you can save 12% off those. We'll have some better pictures up later today as well. They're in the photo studio now. Huge, over a dozen organic teas. And you support the channel. One day only, 12DAYS, 12 days, save 12%. And get a cool gift for someone or for yourself. Now, Charlie Kirk writes, it has just been revealed that Anthony Fauci's daughter worked at Twitter during the coof. Because, of course, she did. Charlie Kirk, now the article here for the Post-Millennial, of course, this wasn't public. It was just like, only came out during a deposition. On Monday, Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt released to Twitter the full transcription of Dr. Anthony Fauci's full deposition on the ongoing case regarding social media censorship, in which it was revealed that Fauci's daughter worked for Twitter. Attorney John D. Sauer asked Fauci if he knew anyone that worked for social media companies at the time, to which Fauci stated, well, I've had communications with Mark Zuckerberg in the past, I've done, I believe, 3 outward FaceTime discussions encouraging people to get the poke. Do you have any acquaintances? It's funny. The first question is, do you know anybody? And he talks about Mark Zuckerberg, not his own family member. Do you have any acquaintances, people that you know who work on social media platforms? So again, question. Well, a person who used to work as a software engineer for Twitter was my daughter, said Fauci. Did you ever, when she was working at Twitter, did you ever discuss with her the content of stuff posted on Twitter or social media platforms? Sauer asked, to which Fauci said, no, I don't believe that. Did you ever discuss with her the origins of the coup, origins of anything? No, she had no interest in that, said Fauci, who added that she stopped working for the platform over a year ago. Well, yeah, they got what they needed out of her, I imagine. Now, maybe it's just a coincidence. I mean, Twitter had 7,000 employees. Maybe his daughter was some sort of crack developer or programmer. But Elon Musk responded, Charlie Kirk tweeting, it's been revealed today that Anthony Fauci's daughter worked at Twitter during the lockdowns because of course she did. Elon Musk, of course, writes, small world. Now, ultimately, like, I don't want to go full tinfoil hat on everything. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. I mean, maybe they're like estranged. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't even like his daughter. Maybe his daughter doesn't like him. Maybe. But I wonder why she got the job. Certainly that came up in the interview, right? Certainly that came up around the office. I think that that maybe there's a question or two there to be had, you know, given we see how former Twitter used to like to collect DNC operatives, like their general counsel lawyer, Vijaya Gotti, who loved Hillary Clinton, invited Hillary Clinton to the Twitter headquarters. I think in many ways, I guess this is just my opinion, in many ways, Twitter seemed to be operating like a de facto DNC publishing machine. Like, just literally worried about helping the Democratic Party. That's how it looks to me anyway. Now, another person came out, and this is where maybe we'll divide our opinions a little bit on this, but I want to explain why I'm saying the things that I am. There is this pressure coming from jaded mainstream media people on Twitter who didn't get the scoop, but also people who want the information out there. There's like two different people sharing the same opinion, and I think they're sharing it for different reasons. Jack, former CEO of Twitter, tweets to Elon Musk, if the goal is transparency to build trust, why not just release everything without filter and let people judge for themselves, including all discussions around the current and future actions, make everything public now, hashtag Twitter files. A lot of people saw this and said, yeah, I agree with that. I think, you tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, that there's a different, more nefarious reason for this. Does anybody remember the Panama Files? Probably not. A few of you, probably. This is an important data dump, but it was 11.5 million pages of data dumped at once. An impossible task to go through and really put anything together. People saw it. People talked about it for a minute, and then it went away. If you drop everything at once for Twitter, you're going to get a day or two, maybe 3, of people talking about it, and then it's going to disappear. And 3 days would be a lot, right? That's what the media wants. That's what Jack wants. He wants it all to get out there so that people can just immediately move on. I don't want that. I want it to get drip fed to the public with meaningful updates every single day until the freaking 2024 elections. Okay? I want the American public to have zero doubt of the collusion that was going on behind the scenes. And by the way, I want to see what the Trump team requested to be taken down too. I'm not supporting like a lot of the narrative on our side, the free speech side, is like, the Democrats, according to these leaks, the Trump administration asked similar favors. So I want to see what those were too. I want people who were unfairly targeted and banned by this platform at the behest of Democrats or Republicans to have enough time to gather legal resources and sue people. Okay? I want the world to not be able to miss a single crumb of this story. That's my opinion. Now, the other thing is the practicality of releasing it. A lot of people are seeing this and saying, I just released it. Well, the reason it's going to journalists is, in my opinion, right, is like Twitter is not the government, although it has been. So they don't have like redacted records all over the place and systems to redact these things to release to the public. They could probably enlist the help of WikiLeaks. I would probably support that. Allow WikiLeaks to help redact things and also share things. But a lot of this stuff, needs context, needs to be put together. and like conversations in Slack need context. They need to be assembled so that people can digest them and understand exactly what they mean. And you need to redact what you need to redact so you don't get sued. I don't know if there's just the Twitter files, like a zip file on the server that you can just release to the public. I assume that would open you up to all sorts of lawsuits. So I don't think it's actually that easy. Now, they could spend time redacting all this stuff and then release it, certainly. And I think that maybe they'll do that. And again, all of this stuff happened under Jack's watch, so I don't really want to hear from him on this. You could see Styx text him and say, yeah, Jack, why didn't you? Right? Jack was there for years and he could have done this. Jack gets no credit now for saying this when he was working hand in glove with the Democratic National Committee. When he was working hand in glove to suppress and to remove our U.S. citizens' First Amendment rights. Forbes writes, Twitter's co-founder and former CEO Jack Dorsey urged Elon Musk to release without filter Twitter's internal communications about moderation decisions relating to a report about the president's son, dubbed the Twitter files, days after journalist Matt Taibbi failed to deliver any surprising new details. Oh yeah, I love how the mainstream media keeps talking about how unimportant this is and how much of a nothing burger it is while writing nonstop articles about it. I mean, when I live streaming the other day, I had 30,000 people watching. I'd say people are interested. By the way, I suspect we'll also be live streaming this afternoon if there's new files that come out. I think that also maybe some of the juicy stuff was filtered out by their little FBI operative. I think a lot of these people asking for it all to be released immediately, maybe they're a little nervous. Maybe some of their names are on these emails and they're living in fear, wondering when the next little piece is going to drop and they just can't take it. They want it all out on the table. Here's another reason. I think once it's all out on the table, it's much easier to spin, isn't it? If you release targeted nukes where they're tight, an irrefutable story, right? You can't spin that very well. Right now, the only spin the left has is, it's all about getting D pics removed from Twitter, and it's a nothing burger. That's not really viable spin. People don't buy that. If you drop the whole thing, they'll find the one little thing in there, like, oh, Trump did this too, and that'll be what the entire media cycle is about Trump. And you'll never hear a dang thing about the Democrats. So I think it's important to keep dripping it, and it's important for Twitter too, from a marketing perspective. I'll be interested to hear what you say in the comment section down below, though. And let's get on with some Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Sonic has been the best one so far, even if I'm not as familiar with all the characters. Oh, I wonder if number 11's like the... Okay, well, let's find number 7. Sometimes I look at the size of these things and oh no, this one's tiny. Oh no. I just said all these good things about you, Sonic. I knew it. A coin. Womp womp. I mean, it's Sonic. You're gonna have rings. God, rings. I can hear you Sonic fans screaming at me. But hope you're enjoying the Christmas stuff. And we'll get right on to the next video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet. You're not gonna want to miss a thing.